Hardcore League, the only place for competitive Battlefield.
Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is KLW Hitman Pike, Battlefield eSports shoutcaster with the Hardcore League. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'm just going to be taking a little opportunity to take you guys through some of the important things that we've got planned over the next coming months and how we're going to be implementing esports into Battlefield 5. Obviously, a lot of you are aware that Battlefield 5 has had some massive changes, some of the biggest changes that I've seen in 13 years playing the series. And I have to say, I'm really looking forward to seeing this new approach that the devs are taking. There's a lot of emphasis is now going to be on teamwork, squad-based work, working together with other squads to achieve that objective as a team. Now, obviously, these are some of the core mantras of Battlefield and have been for many years now. We did see Battlefield take a slightly different approach with Battlefield 1 specifically. Hardline was another version of the series that came out, and they definitely changed things up a little bit. So I'm glad to see that Battlefield's now moving back towards its more traditional side. The emphasis is going to be back on everyone really working together. PTFO is the name of the game. So from our point of view, as an esports circuit, esports community, this definitely is going to complement our style of gameplay a lot more than say the gameplay in Battlefield 1 or Battlefield Hardline was a little bit on the casual side, a little bit on the arcade side. We saw a lot of weapons balancing issues, and this definitely has changed the sort of esports scenery throughout Battlefield 1, and in terms of how the teams have interacted with each other, and what weapons have been getting chosen and what kits have been chosen in the structuring of the team. So from my point of view, it's good to see, and I think it's the right move. I think they just need to continue moving towards this general direction that we've got going for ourselves at the moment. So as I was saying, guys, looking forward into Battlefield 5, we're going to see some key changes to how the game is going to interact, especially with the players, and how the players are going to interact with each other. Obviously, we're going to be seeing a lot more demanding style of gameplay, in that, it's not just going to be a case of you throw your med pack out, you throw your ammo out, and someone automatically picks it up. Someone is now going to have to physically pick it up, and I'm sure you guys got a real feel in the beta for how that's going to play out, and how that's going to really impact over the next coming months and years. Because obviously everyone's going to have to change up their gameplay, their play style, just that little bit, especially in the competitive arena. As I've made that point before, the competitive arena is a lot less forgiving in terms of what you can and can't get away with. If you come in, if your team leader doesn't allocate enough medics, that's going to be a massive issue for your team. If you don't allocate enough ammunition resources, that's also going to become an issue for your team, especially if your players don't go down for long periods of time and they stack up high kill death ratios. So that's again something you've got to look at. What players are involved, who have I got out on the field, how can I best structure this team to best represent these people who have shown up tonight as opposed to last week's match. So a lot of it for the team leader is having that ability to be fluid, be dynamic, and try different approaches, and be willing to try different approaches, because a lot of team leaders make that classic mistake of getting into that mindset where they're just concentrating on what they did last week and what worked last week. And the problem is you can take what works and what doesn't work, and you can have it at the back of your mind, but you need to be willing to read the map, read the enemy team, read their kits, and react to that in a way that it sort of leaves you less susceptible to losing teammates to a lack of medics or to a lack of support, or in the cases of armor maps, a lack of assault class. So again, these are all important factors that team leaders need to be taking into consideration, especially when you're a new team leader. It's very hard to do. It's hard to start an esports community team up anyway. That's one of the big things here at the Hardcore League, is we will support you through that process as much as possible, especially if you're a new team, you haven't got any prior experience. We really want to hear from you. We want to get involved with everything that you're trying to do, and what you'll find is the Hardcore League is very effective at providing a platform for you as a team to showcase your skills, to really demonstrate to the wider gaming community, look, this is who we are, this is what we've got to offer. And, you know, this can be done on a team level, as I just mentioned, but it can also be done on an individual basis. And what we actually see coming out of the Hardcore League and out of the eSports circuit is, you know, some pretty famous names now. You know, people are becoming pretty well recognized. People getting messages in servers saying, you know, dude, that was an awesome play the other night, and that's exactly what we're sort of going for. Really, we want to really give you guys that platform to come out and just show everyone what it is that you as a team and you as an individual have to offer. All right, so looking forward into Battlefield 5, we've got some major changes. I touched on a few of them earlier with regards to the squad play and how the game's going to interact and how it's going to demand a higher level of integration from everybody. But also, we've also had the introduction of a few issues which have polarized the community to a certain extent. That said, I don't think the backlash is as bad as it could have been. A lot of the backlash was mitigated by the community managers such as Dan Mitre, Jeff Braddock, and a few of the developers coming in. And of course, as I'm sure you guys are aware, that topic that's a little bit controversial, don't know why, but women in Battlefield 5 is going to be a thing. Now, me personally, and again, I'm not speaking on behalf of any organisation here, I'm purely speaking on behalf of KLW Hitman Pike, I think this is a good thing. Now, one of the things that I play Battlefield for, other than to spend time with you guys, because you're awesome, I just want to enjoy the game. You know, I really want to get into that nitty-gritty experience of enjoying the game, of really, you know, experiencing everything that Battlefield's got to offer, because it is an extremely immersive game. At the end of the day, you know, you look at the graphics and the time and love put into it, the passion put into it by the development team, and it's an extremely effective mechanism for pulling people together. You know, it really works really well. But you know, I often ask myself, what would it be like if someone forced you to play as the opposite sex to the person that you are? Now, again, bringing that back in, that I find I'd play Battlefield to feel immersed and to feel like I'm actually there on the field. I ask myself, what would it be like if I was a female gamer being forced to play as a male character? Now, I know for a lot of people that wouldn't be an issue, but there are certain people like myself who want to feel at that absolute 100% immersion. Now, I know it's not keeping true to the historical fact, and women weren't technically on the front lines in World War II, but what women did was just incredible. Like, their support, you know, in terms of the home front and the logistics and the nurses and the medical care that was provided, you know, all of these roles were fulfilled by women. The other thing is, looking at other sort of countries like France, Belgium, even Germany itself had a resistance movement. You know, a lot of these resistances were made up of female members. And for me, you know, it not only recognises the fact that women did actually participate in World War II, you know, it also means that these people, my friends, these girl gamers, are going to be able to go out there and they're going to be able to feel that same level of immersion as I do, which for me is, you know, that's important. I can't emphasize it enough, and the developers are always making this point, and the same with the community managers. Battlefield is an inclusive game. You know, we're not here to say, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to play with you. You're the wrong sex. You're from the wrong country. You're the wrong political movement. That doesn't happen in Battlefield. What you actually see in Battlefield, and it's something that is incredibly unique to Battlefield as a game and Battlefield as a community, is that we all come together. You know, we're all part of this team. We're working towards one objective, and all the differences, all the politics, all the rubbish, it melts away. You know, when the bullets are flying and when you've got an objective there to be taken and you've got your teammate that you need to revive who's on the other side of the field, so you've got to get support fire put down in the enemy's direction. You know, for me, that's where Battlefield is. And I know for a lot of people it's the same. And when all that's going on, you're not thinking, oh, am I playing with a Democrat? Am I playing with a Republican? You're just playing. You're just enjoying yourself. And again, that is something, especially in this polarized world where we've all got such crazy stuff going on, such crazy views. Everyone, you know, one person thinks this, another person thinks that, and it's like, you know, that drifts away. and it's all about the pew pew pew, which, you know, for me is just, it's something that's so unique, so rare in this day and age. It's something that we really need to safeguard for future generations. So with Battlefield, I want to see longevity. I want to be able to play this with my grandkids, you know, and I want to be able to, you know, make sure that it's going to be there for them to play, because I've had such a great experience, such a positive experience, and this has been my rock of calm in stormy seas on so many occasions. You know, I honestly don't think it's over the top to say I don't think I could have done and been through my specific life experiences without this sort of rock to cling on to, because, you know, it's not only an amazing game, it doesn't only just bring people together, but you develop these connections within the community and you get to know people, and they're like your family because you spend so much time with them. And especially if you're incredibly addicted to Battlefield like I am, and you're putting in sort of 30 hours a week sometimes, it's you know, you're spending a lot of your time with these people. So from my point of view, I'm very much glad to see Battlefield take this direction, continue with its mantra of being inclusive, and just basically saying, yeah, we appreciate that it's not strictly keeping to the historical relevance of it, but it sort of is at the same time. You know, we want to represent those people that have helped build Battlefield into what Battlefield is today. And of course, you know, that's taken people from all walks of life. It's taken people of both sexes, you know, and it's good to see that we've got that representation there, really. So, but moving forward into Battlefield 5, just tapping back into the tactics and the strategy there for a moment, guys. You know, we discussed how it can influence the in-game situation, how people come together extremely well to just have these little opportunities to fight together as a squad, and that is something that, you know, is very unique to the game. What I find is a lot of this transfers over into the wider community, the wider Battlefield community, you know, the Twitter discussions, the Reddits, the forums, the Discord discussions. We all come together. No one's really about having an argument. We can have disagreements, but we can also stay civil with it. You know, there doesn't seem to be this polarization that you get in other walks of life. So from my point of view, again, it's really good that they're just keeping going with that whole focus, looking forward into Battlefield 5. I think it's 100% the right thing to do. And I think to push people into the situation where they have to work together as a team, or they face losing points, or they're not going to make the same amount of points. Well, you know, although the devs have always tried to provide for the lone wolf experience as much as they have for the squad experience, they're sort of they've got to a crossroads, and they're sort of saying, no, we're going to take things more now towards the teamwork experience, which that is Battlefield. Battlefield is not a lone wolf experience, I'll be honest with you. If you're lone wolfing it in Battlefield, you're not going to have a good time, you're not going to enjoy yourself, and you're probably going to put the game down. Now, that's not to say that's for everyone, but that will definitely happen to the vast majority of people, because to really you know, get a full feel for this game, you have to fight in that squad. You have to be with people on comms, talking to people, and, you know, and that's the only way that you're going to really get that full Battlefield experience. Now, so many people come into Battlefield from other games like Call of Duty, like Counter-Strike, expecting a similar experience, and what happens is they spawn in, they run for about 10 minutes because they've got no direction, the maps are huge, there's so much going on, you know, unless you've got that prior experience or you're with someone who knows what they're doing, you're going to flounder, and you're just going to end up walking for about 10 minutes, and then you're going to get shot from across the map by a sniper, and you're going to get annoyed, you're going to throw your remote out the window, and you're going to turn your Xbox off, unload the game, and never play it again. I think what we need to do is bridge the gap between new players coming into the community and actually latching on, because what you do find is the players that stick around and get through that initial pain barrier, and especially those that seek you know, Battlefield veterans, people who've done it a long time, or communities to go out and make their experience better, those are the players that end up coming in and loving the game, you know, and then that's it. Once you've got that initial love for Battlefield, it never goes away, and a lot of people will just play this game day in, day out, even in the off season, even when it's at its lowest ebb. Right now we're in a very quiet period of the overall Battlefield season. We're coming to the end of Battlefield 1. Battlefield 5 is very much now on the horizon. So it's a very quiet time in the Battlefield calendar. There's not much going on. That said, things will pick up over the next coming sort of month or so now, moving into that sort of last month period of before the Battlefield 5 releases. And again, I think that's absolutely fine. There's peaks and troughs, and that's just part of the natural sort of the way the game comes out on this 2-year cycle. So guys, hope you've enjoyed me having this little chat with you today. This is me just getting a little bit of warmed up for the podcasting that we're going to be doing over the next few months and years. Hope you guys can check us out. Of course, if you're new to the Battlefield eSports community or just new to the Battlefield community, don't forget to check out hardcoreleague.co. The address is just above me, guys. You can also see our @ on the far side of the screen, @Hardcore League Official, HL League Official, my apologies. Find out a little bit more about us. Get onto our Discord, guys. Chat to a couple of our team leaders. We've got 150 teams with 3,440-ish members signed up to them. We've hosted just over 1,100 events since 2015. So we are established. We do have our foundation. A lot of what we do here is seen by people at EA and at DICE. A couple of the community managers like to drop in and watch people. And of course, we also get quite high numbers in terms of people watching the matches. It is a good opportunity for you as a community to showcase yourself, really put yourself out there, test your mettle a little bit, and just get involved in the Battlefield esports arena. Alright guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. In the meantime, don't forget to hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. Really appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm KLW Hitman Pike, Battlefield Esports Shoutcaster with the Hardcore League. Speak to you soon. Peace.